I know you've been dealing with my husband, but as I'm sure you've heard, he's gone. So now you're dealing with me.
I recognize that you like to get down to business. I respect that. I'd like to offer my condolences to you and your daughter. But your husband made a mess of things, and now you're going to clean it up.
I'm not going to do this forever.
You don't have to. You do it until it's done. The bad news is that your father had to work a little and couldn't pick you up. Good news, that means that I can take you to have some ice cream. Ice cream.
When you talk about organized crime in the Marvel Universe and you talk about the seedy underbelly of New York City, there is one primary character that comes to mind.
He said, I want to bring you into the MCU, and I'm not going to say no to that. Like, that's pretty awesome. I really love playing this character. I liked creating him, from the art of guys like David Mack. Fisk is really driven by emotion. He's like a child and a monster, both at the same time. So it got very intense yesterday, and it got a little bit intense today, too.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my Marvel Hawkeye Kingpin deleted scenes video for all the scenes of Kingpin that hit the cutting room floor, and there's a lot of them. Vincent D'Onofrio, Kevin Feige explain why they chose to bring him back from the Daredevil Netflix series, just like they brought Charlie Cox back as Matt Murdock Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. If you're brand new to the channel, I'll be doing full episode videos for Marvel's Moon Knight series, just like I did for Hawkeye. That's going to start pretty soon. Be sure to subscribe to get all those. But as they explain here, it was actually Kevin Feige's idea to bring back Vincent D'Onofrio from the Daredevil Netflix series, just like it was his idea to bring back the original Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, other Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield Sinister Six villains in Spider-Man No Way Home, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield themselves. And I'm sure the same will probably be true when Patrick Stewart finally explains why he came back as Professor X in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and any other X-Men and Fantastic Four characters from the Fox Marvel movies that we learn about in the film. And it is really cool to hear Vincent D'Onofrio talk about how precious the Wilson Fisk character is to him. Notice that he always calls him Wilson Fisk. He doesn't call himself the Kingpin when he's talking about his character. This is just the beginning, too. If it wasn't clear, he did not die at the end of the Hawkeye finale. He is still alive. But the first big deleted scene is a flashback of Kate Bishop's mother, Eleanor, having a dinner meeting with the Kingpin right after the events of the Avengers movie and the Battle of New York. Notice that he's wearing the same black outfit that he wore in the early Daredevil Netflix episodes before he started wearing the white suit. That didn't come till Daredevil Season 3. That's because the events of Daredevil Season 1 happened relatively soon after the events of the Battle of New York. So while this is happening in the background, you have to imagine Daredevil's out there running around beating up criminals in Hell's Kitchen. I also believe this is happening before the events of the Daredevil Season 1 finale when Kingpin got hauled to prison. The two of them talk about the arrangement that Kate Bishop's father made with Kingpin, the debt that he's in that Eleanor is going to help repay through that Bishop security business. They kind of hinted at the connection between Kate's father, Derek, and Kingpin during episode 1, but they never actually said his name out loud or anything about the mob in that episode. You just hear her mother arguing with him about how they're going to make ends meet because they don't have any money. And he said he'd found a way to take care of it. Turns out that way was Kingpin. By episode 6, when Kingpin meets with her, they fill in the rest of that backstory, and this deleted scene just fills in even more of that. Basically them discussing the terms of the actual deal and how she's going to repay that debt. But if it wasn't clear, Kate's father took out a huge loan from Kingpin, and originally, before he died during the Battle of New York, he was going to be the one running Bishop's security, probably with help from Kate's mother. So all the shady stuff that Kate's mother has been doing the past several years for Kingpin, that would have been her father doing all that stuff for him. And if it wasn't clear from the super illegal tracking software their company had on Kate's phone that she was able to use to track people, they were using Bishop Security to do a bunch of different things for Kingpin. One, they served as a money laundering operation, pretty boilerplate if you're tied to the mob. That's like pretty standard stuff. Two, they were also a front company for the Tracksuit Mafia Bros, who were controlled by the Kingpin, and he just used them to steal all kinds of precious artifacts and valuables, and as just general muscle around the New York City area. And 3, because of their security tracking software systems, they had cameras all over the city. Kingpin also used them for information gathering, which sometimes can be more valuable than actual physical items that they were stealing, like the watch in episode 1. Also, if it wasn't clear why Kingpin wanted that watch so badly, we learned in the finale that the watch belonged to Hawkeye's wife. The S.H.I.E.L.D. logo and the number 19 on the back confirmed that this whole time in the MCU we've been watching her, his wife has secretly been a version of Bobby Morse Mockingbird as an Agent 19. Even though this whole time they've been calling her Laura, like Hawkeye has been calling her Laura. My assumption is that originally when they created the character for Avengers Age of Ultron, when they wanted to do Hawkeye's backstory on this farm here, they didn't plan for her to be Mockingbird. And the Hawkeye people with Kevin Feige in present day decided to retcon that into her backstory. I think there was also supposed to be some extra storyline for Hawkeye's wife that would have explained that a little bit more, but it sounds like they wound up deleting that out too. There were a couple big subplots that they did and then wound up deleting at the last minute from the Hawkeye series. But Kingpin wanted the watch because he was really after Ronin and he could use the watch to connect things back to Hawkeye's family on the farm. But that first deleted scene where Kingpin and Kate's mother are agreeing about the terms of their deal, she's only going to work for him until the debt is repaid, is meant to connect to that scene in episode 6 where she says she's more than repaid the debt and she wants out. So I'm assuming this flashback would have happened at the beginning of episode 6. The second Kingpin deleted scene is another flashback of Kingpin just being Uncle Kingpin for young Maya Lopez at her martial arts class. And I believe this would have also been part of episode 3 when they're doing the speedrun version of Echo's backstory. There's also another separate deleted scene of young Maya at this same martial arts class with young Kazi, setting up their friendship at a young age, I think to help pay off the betrayal in the finale. There were a lot of other Echo deleted scenes from the finale and other episodes, so it sounds like they shot a ton of Echo storylines setting her character up for the spin-off series that wound up hitting the cutting room floor. So if you felt like Echo was kind of an underdeveloped character in the series, they actually did film a huge storyline for her. The funny thing about the Hawkeye series too is that it's actually the first Marvel Disney Plus series that they've actually legit released deleted scenes for whole cloth. Like there were a ton of deleted scenes for Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I've done videos for all of them, so I'll post links for some of those deleted scenes videos in the description below. But Hawkeye is the first time that Marvel has officially, quote-unquote officially, released the deleted scenes online. They should do that more often because they are really cool. But the whole idea here with this Kingpin Echo deleted scene is just setting up their relationship so that the betrayal stings way harder when she learns about it in the finale, and the payoff is way bigger when she winds up shooting him, but not killing him. Remember, he's not dead, he's coming back. I think the main reason they cut these extra Kingpin scenes is because they didn't want to fully reveal Kingpin all the way back in episode 3 for the Echo backstory. Like, we all knew that it was Kingpin when he reached his hand out to touch her face. And if they'd revealed Kingpin and even Yelena Belova early on, because we knew that she was going to be part of the series as well, because of that Black Widow post-credit scene, everyone would have just been talking about Kingpin, Daredevil, and Yelena Belova stuff, and it would have just stolen all the juice from the Kate Bishop storyline. Like, yeah, Kate Bishop, this is all cool, but show us more Kingpin stuff, more Daredevil stuff, more Yelena Belova. And the big thing with the Hawkeye series is that it was mostly supposed to be a bookend for Clint Barton after Avengers Endgame in setting up the whole Kate Bishop MCU storyline. It's kind of like Grogu and Mandalorian coming to the Book of Boba Fett and taking over that series halfway through. Everyone's like, yeah, Boba Fett, he's real cool, love what you're doing here, but we really want to see what's going on with Grogu's Jedi training storyline with Luke Skywalker and what's going on with Mando and the Darksaber. I've done a couple other videos about what Marvel's plans are for the Daredevil characters in the MCU going forward. There's going to be a lot more Daredevil coming soon, especially in some of the other Marvel Disney Plus series, so I'll link those videos below in the description too.
I feel so lucky to have been cast in that role, and it is the gift that keeps on giving. I loved every single minute of making the show. And so to be asked to come back and to be involved in any capacity is absolutely thrilling to me. And I hope, I don't want to sound greedy, but I hope I get to do loads more. I hope I get to be involved way, way more for many years. I hope it never ends. Being in the MCU allows that we couldn't really do with the Netflix stuff, is that I can now interact with other MCU characters, or crossovers is the thing I would like to do next. There are some really interesting stories there that I'd love for the character to explore.
If you spotted any other big Easter eggs in these deleted scenes that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments. There's rumors they're going to be releasing an extended director's cut of Spider-Man No Way Home at some point in the next couple weeks with a bunch of extra Daredevil and Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield scenes. If that winds up happening, I'll do a video for that too. While you wait for everything, everyone click here for my brand new Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer video and Easter eggs, and click here for my Marvel Moon Knight trailer video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.